IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with the amount of television watched. Did you know that on an average, we watch 4 hours of television per day? Having said which, we spend about 3.5 hours on our phones. And now these statistics are pre-lockdown. I have no idea what the number was like during the lockdown. Probably we just had 4 hours of non-television time or screen time. But in truth, the last year has been nothing but a juggling act of screens. We worked on a medium screen of our laptop, then we escaped to our big screen of our television, and all the while distracting ourselves on that tiny screen in our hands. It was screen upon screen upon screen. And today's podcast is not about the ill health caused by watching TV or how your brains turn into marshmallow from serials that we watch. Don't worry, it's not about that. It's not a lecture on why TV is good or bad. Instead, I want to share something that I realized I was doing, which is not a good way of living or being present at all. Have you noticed how you spend a good amount of time finding something interesting to watch on TV? Then, as you're watching it, you start playing with your phone, you check your WhatsApps, then you go to Instagram and scroll through your feed, a few likes here, a few comments there, and then you open YouTube and start watching a video. You have 2 videos now going on simultaneously, one on the television and one on your phone. Your focus is divided. You're using television as an escape, and now you're on your phone to escape the escape. Can you imagine just how funny this is? And I'm with you on this, okay? I do it too. I've caught myself so many times doing it. But the realization hits you when you walk in on someone else watching TV, completely ignoring what's going on that screen. Movie plot twists go out the window. The jokes aside, when we divide up our focus like this, we are increasing the energy drain experienced by our brain. Because whether we realize it or not, our brain is trying to process all the stimuli coming in. Have you ever noticed that you feel tired after watching television? A time that was originally meant to relax you and help you recover is now a time that drains your energy. And if there is any currency of health, it is energy. The more energy you have, the healthier you are. The more energy you have, the better you can sleep, believe it or not. We are so misinformed about sleep. We don't need to tire our eyes to go to sleep. Instead, we need to create a restful, understimulated mind. That won't happen if we are stuck on the television and our phones at the same time. As your habit coach, I want you to live an energetic and full life. So let's get rid of these dual screen drains. What say? So your simple habit to be more present, more restful, less anxious, and have a calm mind starts by focusing on one activity at a time. When watching television, place your phone next to the television and away from you. Do not keep it at arm's length, as far away as possible, because chances are you will not get off that chair or that comfortable sofa to check it. This way, you can focus on one activity at a time and practice being more present. You can enjoy the movie or the show. Imagine that poor director seeing you on your phone as his work of art plays in the background. What would he say? So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank the sponsors on our network this week. See you at Tires. So we had a fantastic week. Tune into This Round is on Me, where Gauri Devidayal has a chat with Divya Ravichandran on the issues of waste management in India and how recycling, composting, and using eco-friendly alternatives can help. On Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik speaks with Lux Narayan about his book Name, Place, Animal, Thing, an inspiring non-fiction fable about hope, positivity, and living your best life. On All Things Policy, Anirudh Kanisetti talks to Prateek Wakle and Rohan Sheth about Australia's conflict with Facebook and Google and what this means for big tech companies and the news ecosystem. On the Simplified podcast, Naren and Tony talk about greenwashing, which is businesses unfairly marketing themselves as eco-friendly just to ride the sustainability wave. You should also check out the Cyrus Says episode with Varun Deshpande of the Good Food Institute, where they talk about plant-based alternatives. Varun does a great show with us called Feeding 10 Billion. Do check out this episode of Cyrus Says. They have a really interesting conversation. On the Millennial Athlete, Tanvi and Shlok speak to the badminton doubles player Satvik Sairaj about his successful stints at some of the recently concluded games. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with Postcards from Nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.